morning. Good morning and welcome to our yoga practice. We are rolling out the mat and getting settled in. Grab anything that you may need or want nearby. It's an easy reach. Making our space. We've got another minute or so before we get going. As in the last few weeks, you may hear a few chompers. Molly is hanging out somewhere down here. Got her bone is feeling pretty happy this morning. As you come onto the mat, we are going to begin in child's pose if you wanted to head that way. Getting a little closer to time. And start heading towards child's pose together. Toes near one another. Knees can be near one another or out near the edges of the mat. Start to slowly melt the heart down. Belly can come to thighs or rest between them. Arms can stretch overhead. Maybe the forehead touches the mat. Maybe you create a little pillow with the fists or the palms for the mat or for the head. Bringing the mat a little closer to you. If you have a block, you can also use that. Nice spot to rest the head. As we take a few moments here to let the body settle in. Relax the feet. Let the hips settle. Feel a little release through back body. Keep a little softness in the shoulders and the elbows. Maybe you close the eyes here to help block out distractions as you center in. Notice the feeling of the mat beneath you, the air around you, and the breath within. Scan the body, build awareness. Notice where the mind is as well. Invite it to be part of the practice, to be present with you here. The head is resting on the hands. Go ahead and send the hands overhead, create a little space between the forehead and the mat. Palms are down. We'll stretch the arms, feeling that length through side body. And then when you're ready, gently walk the hands over to the right. Settle back in as you create a stretch through the left side. Hips stay settled. Breath is steady. Walk the hands back through center and then journey off to the opposite side, settling in. And from hip to fingertip. The breath helps you create space through the ribs. come back to center. Take a breath here. On an inhale, we'll lift up and we'll transition all the way over onto our belly, chin into the mat. Tops of the feet are down, little space between the feet. As we bring the hands under the shoulders, elbows tuck in toward the body. We'll inhale up, chin and collarbone, baby cobra. We're not putting too much weight into the hands here. Press down into the hips and the tops of the feet. Exhale as you release. Take a breath. Inhale up, baby cobra. Imagine that long spine. Shoulders draw away from the ears. We're really using our back muscles here. Exhale as you release. Take a breath. We'll send hips to heels, child's pose. Take a breath. Inhale up to tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees as best you can. Spread the fingers nice and wide to give you a base. If having the hands flat on the mat isn't feeling great on your wrists, you could do fists down as well to help take out a little bit of that pressure. From here, we'll inhale the belly down as we lift the gaze. Exhale as we arch the back, draw the navel in. Inhale, lower. Exhale, arch. Continue these cat-cows at your own breath pace. Mindful of how the spine and back body are feeling. Draw awareness from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. We'll take one more full round before meeting back at our neutral. We'll keep the hips high as we slide the hands away, melt the heart down. Puppy pose. You can stay flat palms. You could tip the fingers. You could come down onto forearms. Find a variation that feels good for your arms and shoulders while creating a big stretch through the upper back, the front body. We'll start to slide the hands in as we lift up. And then we'll gently sit back, finding a kneeling pose. The tops of the feet are still down on the mat. We sit tall. We'll bring hands around our back. We're taking the back of the hand to the low back and the other hand to palm. Kind of like that. Letting the elbows be at our side or even drawn back ever so slightly. And then we'll drop left ear toward left shoulder. A little bit of a heart opener here while stretching our neck. We come back to center. Keep sitting tall. Drop right ear toward right shoulder. And notice as you come into the shape, if the shoulders start to scrunch up or shift, relax them back. back to center. We'll look left and right and left and right. Gaze back to center as we drop chin to chest. And then draw a line with the nose up toward the sky. That little lift of the heart. Back to center. Release the hands. Shake out the shoulders. We'll come up. We'll curl the toes. Gently sit back. Holding here for 2 breaths. Big stretch for the feet, ankles. Lift up. Uncurl the toes, bring the hands back down as we find our neutral tabletop once more, whichever variation serves you. Keep that foundation as you step the right toes back, ball of the foot in the mat as you gently press back through the heel, creating a stretch through the calf. Could rock a little to stretch out the foot and the toes as well. Find a little ease. Nice and controlled. We'll fly the right leg. Press out through the heel. Long line through the body. You could stay here if you'd like to add a little balance. We'll lift the left arm. Maybe the bicep comes near the ear as the fingers reach forward. Our balanced tabletop. Core is strong. Gaze is at the mat. On an exhale, release hand and knee as you come back to your tabletop. Find your neutral, and then step the left toes back. Press through the heel. Scan down the back of the leg. Again, you could do that little rock. Loosen the joints, stretch out the toes. Find your neutral. Strong foundation as you fly the left leg. Try to keep the hips square to the mat as best you can. And again, if you'd like to add that extra balance, right arm lifts. Try not to collapse into the shoulder. Strong foundation. Active through the body. On an exhale, release hand and knee. Back to our neutral. Fly the right leg. Scoop the belly as you bring it forward. And find your low lunge. We're setting the right foot somewhere near the front of the mat. Knee over ankle or behind it. The hands are framing the foot as we let the hips sit low. Maybe you draw the gaze forward as you lengthen the spine. You have blocks nearby and you want to set those there to put the hands on. That can be a nice way to adapt to the shape. Awareness through the hips. We'll bring the right hand inside the right foot as we heel toe it over to the edge of the mat. Set it at about a 45-degree angle. If you have longer legs, that foot may journey all the way off the mat. Shorter, it may stay on it a bit more. And you can stay lifted here, or if your hips are feeling ooey gooey today, you could start to melt down onto forearms. Deep stretch for the hips. you're melted down, go ahead and lift up. We'll start to heel toe the foot back to its starting place. Frame the hands around the foot as you curl the left toes, lift off of that knee, runner's lunge. With control, we'll step the right toes back, high plank for a breath. You can lower to the knees here if you like. Shift the hips up and back, down dog. Holding here for a few breaths. You can invite in gentle movement if you like. If you're finding that movement, we'll go ahead and settle in. Root down into the left toes as you draw the right foot up, three-legged dog. With control, bring that knee forward. We'll place it behind right wrist as we gently lower down, uncurl the left toes, coming into our pigeon. Notice as you come into your pigeon, if the body falls off to the left or the right, it does gently return. We want to stay nice and centered. And again, this is a shape where you can stay lifted, keeping that spine long as you gaze forward, or you could start to melt down. Listen to your body. Really tune in to how the right hip is feeling as you soften the legs. Check in with the breath. We hold this shape. Mind may see an opportunity to step off of the mat. And if it does, gently invite it back as we work to stay present. Connect with the sensations of the body. If you're melted down, we'll begin to lift up. Plant the hands on the mat. Curl the left toes as you gently lift up. Step the right foot back and return to your down dog. We'll gently lower the knees, uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. On an inhale, rise up and find your tabletop once more. Nice neutral starting place. We'll fly the left leg, scoop the belly. Try not to scrape that foot on the mat as we bring it forward into our low lunge. And again, check that bone stack on the left side. Legs are on skis to give us a little stability here. Let the hips sit lower. Maybe you draw the gaze forward as you lengthen the spine. Each side will be a little different. As you move through the shapes, stay aware. Checking in continuously. If at any point you feel anything pinpointed, gently back out. Know that there's places to grow as we honor what our body needs now. We'll bring the left hand inside left foot as we heel toe it over, set it at that 45 as you find your lizard lunge. Again, each side is different. So take a moment as you find your shape. Maybe you play with it. Maybe you feel what it might be to melt down. Maybe you usually melt down and you stay lifted today to find that variation. Fun to play in our practice. Explore the shapes. One more breath here. We'll start to heel toe that foot back to its starting place. Frame the hands around the foot. Curl right toes, lift off of that knee, runner's lunge. Create a foundation through the hands as you step the left toes back. High plank for one breath. Shift the hips up and back. Down dog. You could pedal out the feet here. Shift the hips. Maybe shake the head a little yes and no to loosen the neck. Or you could hold in stillness, whatever serves you best. We'll settle in, lift the left foot. With control, bring that knee forward. Plant it behind left wrist. As you settle the hips down. Right leg extends directly back from the body. Top of the foot rests on the mat. Find your pigeon. Keep centered. Maybe you melt down. Focus on that left hip and its connection out into the body, following the sensations. The exhale helps you find a little more ease. That could be a softening of the feet or hands, the jaw. Maybe the legs grow a little heavier. The low back finds some release. Keep the spine long. If you're melted down, we'll begin to lift up. Plant the hands, curl right toes, lift off of the leg as you return to down dog. We'll gently lower the knees, uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. On an inhale, we'll rise up. Exhale as you lower all the way down to the belly, chin into the mat. Tops of the feet are down. We'll extend the arms out to a T to start. We'll leave the left arm extended as we bring the right hand to the mat, that elbow at about a 90-degree angle. Then gently rock to the side, creating a big stretch for the left shoulder. So the gaze is to the right. Only open up the body as much as your shoulder will allow. Be very mindful here. We'll return down. extend the right arm out. Left palm comes to the mat, that 90 degree at the elbow. Gently press over. Shoulder stretch on the opposite side. Back to center. Both hands under shoulders. We'll curl the toes. We're going to engage the whole body, build up a lot of strength, and then try to lift up to our high plank. Little challenge. We probably felt a little silly. Always room to grow. Lower that left knee down as you rotate the body to the left side. Our supported side plank. Right arm reaches to the sky. It can also come to hip. The right foot, you can be on that inner edge, connected to the mat. You could try flying it. We won't be here super long. Just one more breath. Rotate back to the mat. Right hand returns down. We step the left foot back, high plank. Our neutral. We'll lower the right knee. Start to rotate the body. Right side supports us. We open the heart, lift left hand to sky or hand to hip. That left foot can stay connected. It could fly as you press out through the heel. You can tap it down anytime. Again, won't be here long. Feeling strong and controlled as we bring the left hand back to the mat. High plank once more. Lower the knees, uncurl the toes. Hips to heels, child's pose. Soften the arms as we did at the beginning of our practice. The forehead can rest on the mat. You could create a little pillow with the fists or the palms. As you settle in here, scan the body. Allow the breath to gently return to your natural rhythm. Check in with the mind as we take a few moments here at the end of our practice to reflect, to connect, and to simply breathe. You can stay here as long as you'd like today. If you're rounding out your practice with me, we'll gently lift up. Bring hands together at heart center to seal it in. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and those kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this week. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat next Tuesday morning. Bye, y'all.